can't do it. Anyway, all right, you ready?
Yes.
Sorry. Daryl says I don't make it loud enough.
Oh, it's fine.
It's loud for me, though. Welcome to The Ugly Truth. This is episode 625. Open your texts.
Why open your texts?
I don't know. It sounds like I'm saying a chapter. Remember I said that last time? I was like, I feel like I'm saying students?
Oh, your textbooks.
Children, open your text. Yeah, your text. Yeah, really. Open your iPads.
Because text, you say a text.
Hey, do kids do they just use iPads in school now? Is that like the norm? Does your son use iPads for things?
No, they had laptops.
Oh, they
last
do.
year.
Do they do they have actual books still?
That's funny that you brought that up because my son's going to be in middle school this year, and we were just talking about that. And he's got 6 periods, and he's like, and I don't have a locker because they don't do lockers anymore.
Yeah, no, they don't want kids bringing guns to school,
right? And so he's like, I go, well, do you guys have textbooks? He's like, well, I've heard of those. Like he literally, yeah. So
wow.
I think almost everything is done online.
Interesting. So they have like class electronic things.
I'm guessing they go to because like I know
Kindles or something.
Right. Well, no, they had laptops. They were Google. I can't think of what they're called, but they were a Google brand
like
of
Samsung
of a laptop. And so anyway, I don't know. We'll find out. So
I'm so out of the loop when it comes to
am
kids
I.
and school books and stuff. I'm
yeah.
like, I saw a meme. It just reminded me. I saw a meme yesterday, and it said the thing they miss about textbooks is that when you would open a textbook and people would write like hilarious comments next
and
to
you find it on
a
random page.
It's like, it'd be a health book and someone's laying down and someone's over them. They're like, I told you to stay down. And then the next one is waving to a help and they're like, stay away. And they would like write funny things. And then I'm like, I remember that.
Totally.
And they would threaten your life. They'd be like, you will pay $55 if you desecrate this book.
Right.
And we find out that you did it. And it's like, and you won't graduate. And
we
it's like,
did it. We all did it, please.
I think of those threats now. Like when I graduated from high school, the principal at the time said, there will be no throwing of the caps in the air because of safety.
That's so dumb.
You might poke someone's eye out.
All right.
And I'm like, and everybody's like, what? What?
They just have to say it.
So I remember vividly us.
They know you're going to do it. Yeah.
We remember you. We threw our things up in the air. And I remember the principal standing on the stage staring at us in disgust.
Oh, fuck you.
And I was like, really, Mrs. Weiss?
I was going to say, who was it, Mrs. Weiss?
It was Mrs. Weiss. And I was like, whatever, baby. We all have our... Nowadays, they don't give them the actual diploma until after the ceremony. You have to go into the cafeteria and pick up your diploma. Not back then. They handed us our diploma when we walked off stage.
Right.
Now it's symbolic. So they can wave it over you in case you do something dumb.
Oh, God.
That
is
stupid.
So dumb. And like, honestly, if you're a high school student, you're not listening to the show. But if you were... You don't need that piece of paper for jack shit.
It's already there.
No one cares. Yeah, and no one's ever going to ask you for proof of it. I'm sorry. Unless maybe if you join the military, they might want to see it. But,
maybe, but I mean...
Or the FBI or something. But other than that...
Yeah, they can just... and find it like, oh, yeah, he graduated.
I don't even think... They don't do that. No one does that.
Dumb. Speaking of the government... Not really, actually. So you transferred to a new position.
I did.
You are no longer in the pool. You are now a solo.
I have a specialty job.
Position.
Those are coveted positions when you do what I do.
You finally got it, and it was quite an emotional time to leave because you felt secure there, even though things weren't perfect. You did love it, and so
I loved my friends. I loved my coworkers.
And you told me the last time we were talking about this personally, you were like, I just. Like a lot of people, I hate the change. I'm getting a lot of anxiety.
Yeah,
I do. And I was like, you got this.
Yeah, which everybody's been telling me that.
But it's only because I know very well that you've got this.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never blow sunshine up your eyes going, God, she doesn't got this.
No. And honestly, my friends do too. They know me. They only know the work side of me for the most part. Mm-hmm. And so no one can understand why I even had any self-doubt.
Because you are who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, how's it going?
So it's going fine. I have 1 week under my belt.
Good.
And I could not have a week without having something awkward happen.
What'd you do? Okay, so awkward moment early in the show.
Well, here's the thing. We were talking about last week when we were doing the show about women and
yes.
And that was funny because I was thinking about that and I thought, there's a little bit of that going on. It's kind of like being the new kid.
Okay.
You know,
but you also have boobies.
True. And okay, I don't know how to say this without sounding, but I'm pretty.
Yeah, you're cute.
Smart.
You're adorable.
And I have the kind of personality that kind of people talk to me and stuff.
Yes,
You know, I'm very outgoing.
Absolutely.
So I've
not on purpose, by the way.
No, I know. And sometimes it's just being awkward. Mm-hmm. So I have a tendency to get either people who are really happy to have a person like that around, and they're like, yes, you're going to fit in. You're so great, blah, blah, blah. And then there's always somebody who's like smiling at your face, but kind of in the back of their mind, like, you're a fuck you. Who do you think you are? You know, there's always people like that. So anyway, so I one of the things that's new about this job is that I now see people in person, which I haven't done.
Right.
So if you need something, you can come in and you can actually talk to me. And so I think it was my first day, either my first or my second day. I was talking to somebody in the lobby who had come to see me. It was kind of late in the day, but we weren't closed yet. It was like 20 minutes before we were supposed to go home.
Sure.
And I was talking now with my kind of work, I do, you know, I'm helping people who are either homeless or hungry or, you know what I mean? So
they're in a very weak position.
Correct. And so the conversations I'm having with them are very important, right? And I take it seriously.
Of course.
And so I'm having a conversation with someone who's needing stuff from me. And the next thing I know, two people are yelling my name at the top of their lungs behind a wall of glass. Because, you know, how when you go to a public building,
yes,
the people are sitting behind glass.
And they're yelling at you?
Yeah. And so I finally stop and turn and look like, me? Like, are you talking to me? Because I was so shocked. Like, who would be fucking yelling at me?
Yes.
And they're like, we can't go home until you get out. And so these are the two receptionist girls.
I'd be like, get out.
And my face must have been like, wait, what? You know, and I'm like, okay.
Are you supposed to send this person home?
I didn't know. It's literally either my first or second day. I cannot remember if it was my first day but I was so new that I literally didn't know, you know? So I was like,
you're like, I didn't know I was holding everyone
confused.
up. Sorry.
Yes. Now somebody had told me, look, the staff basically leave at 4:45. But because of the kind of facility that I'm at, there's people who work night shifts. So the office itself is not locking down.
No, but these people are
These people are leaving. And the public access part of the building is no longer available for the public, right?
Right.
I understood that, but I didn't think that meant me.
Cut this person off and get out.
So I look at and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, you know what? Here's my phone number. Let's talk about this tomorrow. So I ended it and I was like, sorry, you know, and basically, so then of course I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you know, that was kind of rude.
Beyond.
And I am literally brand new. Like they know today's my first day.
Like listen, I don't want to be that person.
I don't either.
But are they the typical state worker?
Well, we all are.
You know what I mean?
And I even put myself in that. And without getting it, I can't, you know.
Nope. Don't have to go further. So, it's fine. So it doesn't matter. They're hardened. They're grizzled.
And
they've seen this a million times.
This is their work home. Yes. They've been there for a long time.
So they know the thing and
it's
you
very
don't.
And I don't. And so that's the part that kind of pisses me off. It's like, okay, you know what? I get that you're at home and this is your home base and you've probably been here for 10 years.
Yes.
I was that girl too at the place I just left, by the way. But if someone's brand new and they come and they clearly don't know, you know, talk about having, and these are women. And so I'm like,
can you please?
Can you give a girl a break?
Can you grant me some grace?
And by the way, it was like 4:46 and they go home at 4:45.
Okay. So that's very state worker.
So it was.
That's very state worker.
So that was my very first experience.
Awesome.
I was
super
so
fun.
happy.
Can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Yeah. So now I've been I'm like, okay, I see how we roll. So I'm like literally walking out the door at 4:40. I'm like, bye. Bye.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Have fun sitting here for 5 more minutes while I leave.
Good for you.
I'm like,
I'm going to beat you to the punch.
Because I'm not going to get yelled at again. Yeah, that's not happening.
Well,
ever.
unfortunately, because in about 6 months and they try to pull that shit, they're gonna get a whole different person.
100%. And then the security guard we have, there's two. One's a man, a gentleman. He is lovely and so sweet and very, very friendly and has been super nice all week. And so was the girl, except for I had an interview the other day, and so I had to kind of dress up. The interview was in the afternoon, so I spent most of the day in the office, you know, dressed up in heels and all of that.
Sure.
And every single time I had to come to the lobby, it was like, hey, Stripes, what's up? Because I was wearing a striped blouse. Expensive, by the way. And
what?
And so it was just, at first it was like, ha ha ha. But then after like the third or fourth time, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fucking punch you.
Why are you making fun of my shirt?
It was just one of those things. Like she wanted to make fun of me like insecure women do.
Why? Is she doing
know. And it's like, okay, it really didn't bother me personally. Like, as far as like, I didn't feel self-conscious.
No,
I didn't feel ugly. So I knew what was happening. I totally knew what was happening. But it just, for me, I'm like, as a woman, and
what do you do? Yeah.
I'm like, why are we doing this?
Can we please not?
You have your job and I have mine, and I understand yours is you have to be in uniform.
What, have you never seen an attorney or a person walk in the store?
I just don't understand women who do shit like that.
I don't either. I
don't care. I love. One of my favorite things to do is to my friends or people that I know is to tell them how beautiful they look or how great, and mean it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
especially when you know them after a while, you know when they're having a good hair day.
Well, we all, women generally speaking, are all insecure in some way, shape, or form. I mean, even the most confident woman has issues with that. So if you come to work and you look different than you normally do, or you're dressed up or whatever the case, I am going to take the opportunity
to
tell you, and I'm going to mean it.
It's really hard too, because especially when you're, I don't know, because my girls are really good about that now. Maybe it's something that's progressed as we've realized that we're like, why are we hating on each other? Like, it's so high school.
It is,
and you're right. It's all based on insecurity.
It's so based on insecurity.
I was,
either by the person doing the heckling or the person getting heckled.
So you're pretty much, you're learning as you go, aren't you? Every day's a new adventure.
I know. So it's very disappointing to me. So when we did that show last week, I was reflecting on that whole women thing. And I'm like, you know what? I can't control what other women do or where they're at in their, journey of life of how but I will tell you this, that I have a much better perspective about it.
Yes.
And I'm fully like waiting for the opportunity to, I
say something nice.
I might even choose that person as the person to be like,
teach her a lesson.
You look amazing today. Did anybody ever tell you how gorgeous your eyes are?
Like, what?
I mean it. Because it's fine that she was doing that to me. I don't know what's going on with her.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe she thought you looked really pretty, but doesn't have the ability to tell you.
Correct.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm with you.
But if she continues to be a cunt, then she will get that side of me. Because I'm only going to be nice and forgiving and try to like pump you up maybe once.
So it's so strange when someone I really love tells me something like this. There's this weird tickle that I get at like the base of my diaphragm.
I know. And you want to kill someone.
It's a physical reaction, and it's this strange little like itch inside my body that I cannot scratch. And then the fantasies kick in.
Of things you would like to do.
And I'm like, maybe I should come and take my sister to lunch.
But here's the thing. Now, another woman...
And I will only do that if she doesn't let up.
Right.
Obviously.
But here's the thing. As women, me and you, as sisters, being cut from the same cloth as we are, that's only going to last for 0.2 seconds with me.
I know.
And I am fully capable.
Of course you are.
Of slaughtering a person verbally.
You're better than me. You're so much better at that.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
I know.
But I get what you're saying, because I do the same thing. When my daughter tells me things, you're like... And she's telling me how she handled it or remedied it or whatever. It's never enough.
The hair on the back of your neck, you're like, God, there's so many other things I could do.
I'm like, well, did you wipe the blood from your sword when you're done? She's like, Mom, like, I didn't need to stab them. I'm like, but I would have. Yeah. Like, they wouldn't even be living anymore if somebody talked to you that way in front of me.
Oh, my God. It's so true. God.
But yeah. So if you're a woman out there, don't do this.
Don't be a bitch, man. Maybe the new girl is just scared. You don't know.
Yeah, and you think I didn't feel weird all day long in 3-inch heels? And I mean, I don't wear stuff like that all the time.
No, of course not. Okay, well, we didn't talk about this last week, but I wanted to talk about it this week. Just a few blurbs of celeb news.
Okay.
Keep it light.
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan had her baby.
Yeah, so I read.
Now, they live in Dubai, which I did not know.
She abandoned the United States. She said she was so sick of the media.
Good for her.
And that she was so tired of being trashed all the time.
The fact is that now that she's in another country, she has full control.
She does.
Of her social media, of when she's seen, like
her paparazzi,
everything.
All of that. No one's going to go to Dubai to follow Lindsay Lohan around.
I have somebody I went to high school with who lives in Dubai. They love it. They make a lot of money. But they obviously come to the U.S. to see family and stuff all the time. But they don't complain too much about it. I mean, you just, there are things. But I mean, it's not like the Middle East. Like, it's not like Iraq or anything or Afghanistan.
Right.
But anyway, a lot of money there. So, so she had her baby boy. And I was like, God, good for her. And see, nary a thing. No. But that's good for her.
Yeah.
Sophie Viraga and Joe Manganiello are getting divorced. And I'm like, you know what? When two people are that attractive, you better be beyond the attractiveness.
It gets me, though, some of these, like I don't know. I mean, they're just people. That's what always boils
They
down
are.
for me. Like Shakira and her Geraldo
that terrible husband.
I mean,
of
he's
hers.
gorgeous and she's gorgeous and they're both famous and they have money and he's still cheating on her.
It's just so strange. The reason I say that, it's kind of like the Angelina Brad Pitt thing. It's like when there's that much sexiness in a relationship.
Angelina Jolie's a fucking weirdo.
She is, but so's Brad Pitt.
I guess.
He's a total stoner, like a total stoner.
Well,
I mean,
Angelina Jolie wore a blood vial around her neck and she French kissed her brother.
I'm aware.
She's a fucking weirdo.
She is weird. But my point is that when there's two people who are incredibly attracted to each other physically, and the sex is amazing and all that stuff, and you think, oh, this is love, that don't last for very long because you realize they're like, well, yeah, we're really good to look at, but you're insane.
Yeah.
Like you're a mess. Like you leave your clothes everywhere and you only eat this.
Yeah, like that's what they say about Kim Kardashian.
All
they
the
said she's
things.
A pig.
Oh, I believe
like she leaves her shit everywhere.
Well, she doesn't need to clean up anymore.
Yeah,
she's
but
so
I mean,
rich. But
that's kind of shocking, though, right?
Well,
like,
a little, but not. I don't know. I've heard Lindsay Lohan's a complete pig.
Yeah, well,
a complete mess.
Right? Yeah,
because they don't have to.
Look at Amanda Bynes right now. That girl.
I love Amanda, and you know what?
Why can't she get healthy?
Because she's just not on the right medications.
I guess
that's it. But
I mean, she's not even close to being on the right medication. She's wandering the streets half naked and talking to herself.
She's not anymore.
Well, she's
in a facility now.
She is, but I'm just saying, what's happening that she's getting to that point?
All I know, based on my own personal experiences with mental health and medications and all of that stuff, if it's not right, or if you decide, I'll just skip it, suddenly you're no longer well. Yeah, and it's that fast. Yeah, and so I hope that. Because I believe she must be using as well. She can't possibly be sober, but I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, it's common to self-medicate, but.
Exactly. And if she didn't have access to meds anymore or whatever, I think the guy that she was hanging out with initially wasn't great. And, and her parents released her from her conservatorship. And immediately she went downhill. And you can't compare one to the other.
No.
But, Brittany has every right to not trust anybody in her life. Yeah. Amanda is not like that. I think her parents lovingly were helping her. And they're like, okay, well, you're on your own. We're going to let you do your thing. And then she immediately she
had money.
Didn't stay on the path. And that's very common.
It's so common.
And hopefully and I've always said this, my goal is before I die, I am confident that my kids are healthy.
Yeah.
Mentally, they know how to take care of themselves and they're never going to end up, because the second I die, I can't control anything.
Right. That's true.
And it scares the shit out of me.
I know.
Actually, especially, certain members of my family, it really scares me. So I'm hopeful.
I hear you.
I'm hopeful. So Sophia and Joe, I just think it's a matter of they're both super hot and then the hotness wears off and they go, eh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's something to be said for when you're in Hollywood to be a power couple, quote unquote.
They were never a power couple.
They weren't?
Not really.
Well, I mean, they're both known and they're both in the business, and red carpets are great for stuff like that.
They look good together.
They definitely look good together.
So here's the thing that's very strange to me. Ariana Grande, so she's getting divorced already. That did not last long.
Shocking.
Which I don't think anybody's surprised by that. No. But what is shocking is she's currently dating her Wicked co-star Ethan Slater.
Yeah, I saw that.
He looks like a frog.
She kind of reminds me of me, except for she's rich and beautiful and young. She likes ugly men. None of the men she's ever been with, even the one that died, were like gorgeous, drop dead, beautiful
really?
Men. No. Pete Davidson. She was with him. The guy she's with right now. Yeah, the husband, he was ugly too.
He was very tiny too.
She's just she's attracted to personality and energy.
I agree with you. I think you're correct. Anyway, so apparently I didn't realize that he was married. So he couldn't leave his wife fast enough, apparently. She's just like, wait, what? He gone. And all I can think of, somebody mentioned this. They said that he looks exactly like her brother, Frankie. And I'm like, he does.
God,
he does look like her brother. It's very weird. But I always harken back to the line when Charlotte was telling Anthony about her first time having sex with Harry. And she's like, God, he's hairy and sweaty and ew. And it was gross. He goes, ugly sex is hot. Go on. And I feel like maybe Ariana's, that's just it for her. She's just like, ugly sex is hot and you're funny, so let's do it.
I think she's very much a mental person.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and I love that about her because it shows she has substance. You know what I mean?
It's not just all hotties.
It's not all just
and
like.
she could absolutely have
She
anybody.
could have anyone.
She could have anybody she wants.
She is so freaking gorgeous.
So beautiful.
Beautiful, talented,
But anyway,
rich, all of
I
the
was
above.
just like, God, Ariana, really? And you know what? I'm fine with all of it, except that he was married.
Yeah, we all
And
hate
I'm like,
that.
I'm not judging.
But in Hollywood,
the sense,
that's like
yes,
that's what they do.
What's going on in New York? It's like that's the thing. They leave each other's wives and husbands to fall in love with their stage partner or their whatever.
And it won't last. That's the thing.
No, it will. Oh
It's
God,
not going to last. I'm still trying to figure out what happened to Taylor Swift and her boyfriend.
Well,
Joe.
I certainly have my theories. First of all,
I think she wanted to marry him, right? We all know that.
No, she's been she was engaged for 5 minutes
To him?
Mm-hmm. They never announced it, but she was wearing a ring for 5 minutes. And then they broke up basically. But she's been very clear that she's the problem. It's not the guy. She is having her moment right now, career wise. This is pretty catapult. I mean, it's catapulted her into some records that in the music industry. But these men, they're like, well, I want a kid and I want to like hang. And she's like, I'm going on a world tour. And I'm celebrating owning my own music again. And so we're going to have to put this off for like a minute.
I always see her as a perpetual romantic that's always
she
like clingy and like stage 5 clinger. Like
I don't think
Gwen
she's
Stefani.
a clinger. I do not think she's clingy. I think it's the opposite.
Really?
She's incredibly independent.
Because that's how she portrays her relationships in her music. I mean,
if you see you see some interviews like having her talk about, she's very callous about the industry and she's like, oh, you're gonna diss me in my house about the music that I wrote in the house that I bought with my own money that's in my name only. Okay.
Yeah.
Go on with yourself, please, man.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how she is. And I mean, I'm living for it. She even like schooled her father.
Really? She's 30 years old, by the way. It's not like she's not an old.
She's 32.
Is she?
Yeah.
I thought she was 30. Okay, whatever.
It doesn't matter.
But she's not an old maid, where, honestly.
No.
But
And I mean, so realistically,
I thought she wanted to marry Joe. And I
think she did too. And I think that, they have been broken up longer than people think.
Because of the way that they broke up and then she was dating somebody right away.
Well, I think that they had broken up when she was recording Lavender Haze, whatever that album is called. Midnights. I think that they were fading out when she was recording Midnights, and then the fact that he used to be a mainstay at all of her shows and he was just a no-show and people noticed. They noticed.
Yeah.
And so they're like, what's going on with Joe? Where is he? Blah, blah, blah.
So what is up with Joe? Who is he?
He's an actor.
Oh, he is? Is he in anything decent?
I think he's London. I think he's an English actor.
Okay. I know he's English. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's kind of more popular in the UK.
I don't know what the deal is.
She loves London boys.
So does, and now Sophia Richie is married to an English guy.
I follow her on TikTok on her socials.
She's so boring. Sophia.
She's boring and she's also like, I don't know what she's trying to do.
She doesn't. Initially I thought she was trying to rebrand her.
The wedding is everything. I think that was what catapulted her into social media stardom. But now it's over. So she's got to have a baby, and then we'll get all of that again, and then it'll be a thing.
But nobody cares. I don't.
I don't either.
She's just not interesting enough to keep my attention.
No, she's gonna have to partner with like
she
Dior
is beautiful.
Or something.
Yeah, she is beautiful and all of that. But
they're like, this is what old money looks like.
No,
like,
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe so, but she just old money, new money. Like Danielle, we love Danielle.
I love Danielle.
Danielle is old fucking money. They've been rich forever. She doesn't know any other way to be than to be
Danielle,
right? But she's interesting.
She's very interesting.
And I don't just watch Danielle because she's rich.
I will say this though, I'm kind of over her husband being in on everything. I love Danielle. Can you go away?
He
please?
has his own. Yeah, but you know what?
I want to see her snacks. Just go away.
She's trying to support Alani because
Totally.
he has a clothing line and she's so much more popular than he is.
I mean, she's a press.
Every
time she puts on a clo of any kind, any kind of clothing, any rag she throws on, she goes, oh, I got this at here. And I immediately Google and I look and I'm like, that's a $650 dress. Crap.
It's so true.
I can't buy that.
And she's so beautiful.
She's stunning.
She can wear anything.
Now, do they live in Miami?
They do.
Okay.
Because that's their
right.
They have a store there now.
Yes.
And
She's everything.
She is everything. I love her.
You and I are on the same page. I just love her so much.
But I'm just saying, like, I compare her to Sophia Richie, who's also rich and old money, but they're just two different. Like, Sophia just doesn't have the personality.
She does not have it.
No.
All right.
lacking.
So that's enough for celebrity, whatever.
Yeah. Celebrities.
So a few weeks ago, Daryl and I were invited to go see our niece perform in her first recital. She is in a dance company. It's ballet, jazz, tap, all the things. And she's tiny. She's just a little thing. And she wanted to try it. And now she loves it. So she's like, they're like, hey, do you want to come to this recital? It's going to be really cute. And she would love it because she would just love it. And we're like,
yes, you should support.
You know, initially I'm just like, no one ever came to our kids' stuff.
But did you ask them to?
They were also 22. They were children when our kids were doing this stuff.
True.
Which is what Daryl and I reminded each other. Like, you realize that the world was a very different place when our kids were that little. Because she's like 4.
Yeah.
So it's like, they were literally barely
children
in college.
Yeah,
like
that's
they were
true.
barely anything. So to say, hey, 20-year-olds hungover, want to come on a Sunday
to ballet class
and see a 4-year-old perform?
Yeah, no.
And they'd be like, are you going to make us?
Yeah.
Are we required? So no, it's a very different time. Plus,
it's true.
Daryl and I have the time, and we're like, yes, hell yes, we're going to come. It'll be amazing.
And stuff like that now matters way more than it did when we were younger.
I was more than happy to attend. So we get there, we have flowers, and we're so excited. And so the mom turns to me and she goes, okay, this is 2.5 hours long, and she's the last performer.
Oh, fuck. It's always like that.
We just found out. And I'm like, okay. Now, it's not close. We can't just go, we're going to dip. We'll be back. Not only that, this is like a very serious company. They're just like, no cell phones, no flash photography.
So you just have to sit there and watch?
No snacks, nothing. We get handed the program. We sit down. First of all, it's a very nice theater.
It's like Juilliard.
Yeah, it's a really nice theater because they did it at a high school that was renovated. So it's like a real theater.
Fine, but that only lasts for like 5 minutes.
It was dark and air conditioned, and it was really
God.
nice seats. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So we're sitting there. Now, you know me, I cannot behave. I can't behave. So I'm looking at the program, and it starts. And basically they go oldest students to the youngest students. And I don't know why they do that, but that's just what they decided to do.
It should be the opposite.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I think the problem is this, is that at the end, and even it said in the program, do not leave or stand up during the grand finale. And we're like, okay. It's because they bring everybody out.
Okay.
And so my thinking is, they have the little ones wiggling around in the back for 2 hours. They do their performance, and then they come right back out again, and then they're done. And I think it's easier to wrangle the kittens in the back the whole time.
Right. That actually makes sense.
Than them to be tired and whatever.
Well,
and waiting around.
Milling about for 2 hours afterwards.
And it's harder because they're like, I want my mom. I'm done. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, they don't want to sit there anymore.
Exactly. So anyway, I honestly enjoyed the entire thing. I didn't hate it at all. I thought it was wonderful. Their segue where they give the girls it was all girls. They give the girls a minute to costume change or whatever, the older ones, because they were doing all kinds of interpretive dance, ballet, all the things. Well,
oh my God.
And there's always a couple who would rather die than do what they're doing. So they literally stand there and they barely do a head whip or a little arm thing. Yeah. And I'm like, I feel sorry for you because I know that your mom probably made you do this because she's like, you're not sitting around all summer, and you're going to pick a thing and this is the thing you're doing.
Yes.
And so they're all at awkward phases of life. So they all look like little chubby girls, barely, they're practically deformed at this point. Because of their age,
Yes, everything's growing in different directions and different sizes.
They're trying, and then there's the super ultra skinny ones who look like little all limbs and arms, and they're trying to be graceful, and they're not, and they know it, and I'm just like, you know what? I feel for you, ladies.
I know.
I feel for all of you, and I celebrate you for being here and doing this. Lucky for you, the audience, it's so dark that you can't see us.
Right.
All they see is lights, and they're doing their thing. And I don't know if it's worse or better, to be honest.
I think it's better.
So the segue is the owner of the company comes out, and she's acting like an old lady, and they're doing this whole road trip thing. and it's a mini play, and it's like 3 minutes of, horrible acting, and it gives people a chance to get ready for the next act, and then the curtains open. I hated it. It was so stupid. And so I didn't mean to say it as loud as I did, but I'm sitting there. It's like the 4th time and they're coming to do the next segue, and I go, not this again. I said it kind of loud. Oh, God. And I was like, not this again. And Daryl goes, please lower your voice. And I was like, what? I'm like, sorry. And I'm like, sorry. And he's just like, this is not the time.
Jamie.
I'm sorry, you're right.
To be indignant.
There's like 400 people there, by the way. It was not a small event. And so I was like, you're right. When you're right, you're right. He's like, all right.
Like, stop talking.
Stop talking.
People are already listening right now.
So funny. And so then we're getting to the younger ages. And like the 7 or 8-year-old girls come out and they're doing their thing. Stephanie, I started crying.
Oh, Jesus Lord.
Because one of them looked so much like Lauren. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, God, it looks like a little Lauren. Then I'm all, I miss it. I miss our children. And I started laughing. I was crying and laughing at the same time.
Laughing because you were crying?
Yes, I was hysterical.
Ridiculous.
I'm like, what is going on? I have lost my damn mind.
What is wrong with me?
I think it was just so weird. It was such a weird thing. I'm like, I can't believe I'm sitting here and doing this.
Oh, God.
And the family were all together. It was really nice. And like I said, I did not hate one performance. I found joy in every single performance because I know how hard it is to be a kid and do all this stuff.
Well, and you gotta give those parents props,
Oh my God. And then my niece comes out.
Oh God.
And this is her very first recital. She's never done anything like this. And she is exactly like Malia used to be. Super shy, super reserved, very quiet, super smart and lovely, but she's just a sweet, gentle little soul. Mm-hmm. She comes out. She is like, oh, I didn't think this was going to be like this.
Like, it's such a big deal.
This is a lot more than I expected. This is not like practice.
Right.
So she did it. I mean, there were kids who clearly this is not their first day and they were going nuts, but she was her reserved self, but she did the moves. She did not cry. She didn't run off stage. She did the whole thing. And we were like, yes, we were all very cheery. She killed it. Yeah. She killed it. After all was said and done, we went and picked her, the parents picked her up and we were all there going, yay, you did such a good job. So we went home because we had something going on that night. I texted her mom and I said, oh my God, it was so great. I'm so glad. She goes, yeah. She goes, we came home. She had 103 fever the entire time.
Oh my God.
She was ill as hell, but she pushed through and I'm like, that is a performer.
Right.
She killed
it.
I know.
Aww.
She goes, she's resting. And I'm like, yes, give her all the things.
Oh my God.
Just let her enjoy everything.
Oh my God.
Poor baby.
Poor baby.
She killed it. And
good for her.
Yes. The only thing I could think of is like, God damn it. She was in the back going, I don't feel good. And they're like, it's just nerves. Don't worry.
For sure.
You know it. And I'm just like, the baby was sick.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like,
I know.
Like,
but how did you not notice that she had a fever?
Has it escaped your attention that my children are head to toe poison oak? Oh God, yes. I love that movie. Anyway, so it reminded me of when you and I had kids that age. And when you and I also were in plays.
Yes.
You were the flower, correct? Or were you a piglet?
I was the flower.
Okay.
I wanted to be a piglet.
Lauren was your daughter was a piglet.
She was.
Which, isn't that ironic?
I was so glad. I was like, finally, someone gets to be one of the 3 little pigs and they don't have to be a flower.
That was so hilarious because I remember how disappointed you were that Stacey Stewart got to be a piglet.
Now me and Stacey are really good friends on Facebook.
And you didn't, and you had to be a dumb flower, and you were very upset about that.
That's where they put all the kids who didn't have a part.
Flowers.
They just got to sit on the stage and be a flower.
There's literally 4 parts.
And I look back in those days, and I'm like, I was actually a cute kid. Why was I always a flower? Like, who hated me? Or did they hate our parents? I don't know.
Honestly, it could have been the parents.
Was Dad banging a teacher and we didn't know about it?
You know what? I would put money that he was, frankly.
So they were like, oh yeah, that's Bob's daughter. Stick her on the stage as a flower.
Maybe that's why they remembered us every time we came to school
with our
children. You never know. They're like, oh yeah, your father. I remember your family. And I'm like, shut up.
It's so true. I mean, it's very
He's
possible. Because I was cute. Like, I understand why they don't put the ugly kids in. Now they do. Now it's the opposite.
Actually,
now the ugly, awkward ones are always the stars of everything.
Although I always wonder if they usually put the poorly behaved in the main characters to keep them busy.
Yeah, maybe so.
Or they're like, give them a chance. Maybe this will be the thing that turns them around.
Well, Stacey Stewart was the cutest fucking kid ever.
She was the cute nugget of the school.
She was adorable.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But then I'm like, okay, you were that. I got to be a bunny in the forest play. I don't even remember what that was, but
I can't remember what it was either.
And then our children, your daughter was a piglet in the Three Pigs. I went to that play.
Yeah, we did.
And I loved it.
Well, you and I were raising our kids at the same time at that point. So we did support each other.
I think Tyler and I came and watched her perform. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it. And then I was thinking about my kids. Tyler was a wizard in the Cinderella play. He was the royal wizard because now, and this is the same teacher that made you a flower.
Oh.
She is the reason why there were...
Miss Lopresti, Miss Simning?
Miss Simning.
Oh.
And the reason why there's no more flower parts...
I thought Miss Simning died.
She did pass away later, but I
Recently, yeah.
Yeah. But... she didn't do that anymore. She created parts for every kid to have at least one line because she's like, you know what? It's dumb to make literal wallflowers. Like every child should perform
in some way.
And so she created plays and added parts for everybody to have at least one line. So Tyler was the wizard. And he got to do a magic trick in front of the entire audience. Oh my God. And I'll never forget it because he's like, Mom, we can't. What are we going to do? We got to come up with something. And because Miss Simning was like, figure out a magic trick, blah, blah, blah. And I said, Tyler, I have the perfect trick. So we got a pitcher. And I said, you're going to pour a pitcher of water. You can put water in a pitcher, and then you're going to turn the pitcher over, and no water's going to come out.
Oh.
He's like, how am I going to do that? And I'm like, magic, of course. So we got a pitcher, and we duct taped a washcloth into the bottom of the pitcher. And I said, and then you have a cup of water and you have your pitcher. And you were like, I'm going to make this water disappear. And he pours the water into the pitcher. Abracadabra. Give it a minute to absorb. And then he turns it over. When he did that, 300 parents went,
how cute.
And his face was like, yes.
That's awesome.
He was a second grader. It was
the biggest, God, I love that.
Best time of his life. He loved it.
Oh my God, that's so funny. We were just talking about us that are of a certain age at work, how they used to have magic stores.
Oh my God.
Remember, you used to be able to go to magic stores and buy stuff like that.
I do.
We loved going. We were never allowed to go to those magic stores. Well, and in fact, I said that when I was talking, and then both of the people I was talking to were like, your mom thought there were demons in there. I'm like, yes. 100%. I'm like, so my mother wasn't the only crazy one? They're like, no.
A lot of Catholics feel that way. It's not an uncommon belief. Just like... It's so funny because, like, our mom loves going to the thrift store, used to love to go. I don't think she was a big garage sale person, actually.
Not so much.
But she loved
We
thrifting.
did go do a couple.
Yes, but
her and Paula did that later.
They did garage
That
sales.
was their thing.
Yes. Oh, I didn't remember that. Yes.
Because we never wanted to go. I'm like,
God,
fuck
no.
going up. First of all, they were up at 6 a.m.
Oh my God.
They were literally in the car like, well, the good ones start at 6. I'm like, bye. And Paula was right there.
Yeah, well, that was before I believed in coffee. I would never do that now.
No, she was a child. She was like 12.
Yeah, she's like, let's go. Yeah, no. Nope. But anyway, she would thrift. What's so funny about that, I'm like, Mom, I go, you were the person who would say that demons attach themselves to physical objects, and yet you'll go to the thrift store and buy any old thing.
And you have no idea where it came from.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
It could have literally been a witch's.
And you could be a witch's dress, and you'd be like, it's nice.
I guess as long as you don't have knowledge
it's
that it came from.
Casuals.
So true.
Who cares?
Yeah, I think we talked about this on another show, how she used to make us throw away things Grandma gave us.
Yes, because her grandmother was a spiritist, and there was, God forbid.
But was she?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't even remember anything weird about Grandma.
Well, when our grandmother passed away, I was given the task of going through her items.
Oh.
Which I don't know if you knew that or not.
No, because I would refuse to have anything to do with any of that. But remember, I wouldn't even go to the funeral. I don't think I did.
You didn't?
I don't believe I did.
Wait, did I go to the funeral? I don't think I did either.
I don't remember.
Wait.
I know that
Did our grandmother even have a funeral? I don't think she did.
Wait. Was her the funeral where somebody was singing Ave Maria? But they're like, Ave Maria. No. And we were laughing.
That was our aunt.
Okay. All right.
And our grandmother turned to us and went, shut up. stop laughing. She was so angry.
It was so horrible.
Our mother was in hysterics. She was laughing too. We were all laughing.
So was our other aunt.
We were all laughing.
Yeah.
But for some weird reason.
Well, she was burying her child.
No. But for some weird reason, our grandmother, when she had, because they were twins.
Yes.
She had like 4 or 5 children with her husband.
That husband, yeah.
And according to our mom, that was the love of her life.
Oh, okay.
And so.
And he died, right?
And he died, yes. He died of a heart attack when our mom was 14, I think.
Right.
Anyway, they were all Catholic.
Yeah.
But our mom isn't.
No.
She was Protestant or Presbyterian. No, Protestant.
Just like a regular
old something.
Yeah.
And but I think it's because our grandfather was from Sweden and they were Protestant, and I think she just kind of baptized them according to whatever the faith the dad was.
Right.
So the majority of her children were Catholic, and so that's why we had a Catholic funeral for her.
I see it at the time. I didn't even understand any of that.
Well, no, I didn't either.
I mean, but I was an adult, which is crazy. No, I wasn't an adult.
You were barely.
I think I was like 15.
We were kids.
Yeah.
So anyway, so she demanded that there be a Catholic funeral, and Mom's like, I don't know why we're doing this, but apparently, our aunts were never Catholic.
Right.
Like they never did anything, but they were baptized Catholic. So
that's what we did.
Grandma's like, we will have a Catholic funeral. So then somebody came. They brought someone in at the last second to sing Ave Maria, and we're like, clearly did not warm up for this funeral.
She was terrible.
Ave Maria.
No, you're doing it way better.
You're right. I'm trying to do it bad.
You can't.
Anyway, so I was thinking about all the school plays that you and I have supported each other through. You know,
I'm so glad we did.
Irish washerwoman dances and the
Hey, we did the same damn thing for Paula, by
wax
the way.
museum.
How many freaking you're a grand old flag, you're a high flying flag.
The song and dance troupe.
Song and dance troupe.
And
everything Paula did was celebrated. No wonder she's such a fucking diva these days.
True to form, she always ended up in the newspaper.
She was
the news,
front and center
always.
She was literally the poster child. She was white and blonde and blue eyes and cute as shit.
She literally looked like Smurfette.
She did. She was so goddamn cute.
Literally looked like the Smurfette.
And she was a fucking brat from hell. From the second she was born. I mean, God, that child, what do we call it? Where, she did the stretch and put both arms in the air and both legs pointed.
Like a Cheerio.
And she'd just slip right out of your hands.
She did do that. Our children do that
and
too.
she would arch her back.
It is so true. Oh my God.
And she was like 8 months old.
Did your kid do the wax museum?
You mean for a field trip?
No. They had to be a living wax museum.
No. Yes. That was Tyler and Lauren.
Yeah, what did Lauren do? Was she
I thought it was like a president or something.
Wait,
I cannot remember.
Wait, was she
Lincoln?
Was she Sally Ride or was she
was she Annie Oakley?
Oh, yes, she was.
I think she was Annie Oakley.
She was Annie Oakley.
Yeah.
That's perfect because she loved horses.
She did. She did. So yeah, that was.
Tyler was Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah,
and he
was. That's right. I got them mixed up.
And I remember buying doll wigs from Michael's, and I glued it to his face. Yeah, and then I trimmed it.
It was perfect.
And
I'm so glad we did.
He had an awkward moment with that whole thing.
He did. Poor thing.
And I'll tell you what it is. It's my fault, of course, because I'm the mother. I got the date wrong.
He came dressed as Abraham Lincoln on the wrong day.
So he showed up
my God.
He showed up a day early to school. In full regalia. Had the top hat. And everything.
Oh my God.
Did he go to school the whole day like that? Yep.
I can't stop. Oh, my eyes are going to pop out of my head. Oh my God, poor child.
No one called?
Oh my God, nobody.
Nothing. He comes out, hey, all disheveled from the day, and I'm like, how was it? He goes, it's tomorrow. And I'm like, wait, what? He goes, yeah. And I look around, and everyone's in like shorts and Vans, and and I was like, why didn't you call me? He goes, I don't know. And I'm like, Tyler, God, you're supposed to
God.
No one said a word.
I've been in the bathroom the whole day. I never. Oh my God, poor Tyler. I never knew this.
You know what?
Oh my God.
This child.
We were just talking about things we've done done to fuck up as parents.
Oh yeah, this is a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. I was telling someone about how we lost Paula at the state fair.
God, I do remember that. Oh my God.
She was so little.
Dude, it was at the height of like when Adam disappeared, when they found his head and
terrifying.
They shut the park down.
Oh, they did?
They locked the gates.
I don't remember that
They
part.
did.
Well, I was little. I mean,
here's the other thing. Mom.
I've never seen Mom like that before.
And on top of it, she is very good looking. She's a very attractive woman. She's very much she's beautiful. So when she was the amount of distress, first of all, I just remember being sick to my stomach.
We were so scared.
I remember I was just running through the park looking for her. Yeah. I don't remember who found her, but a security guard
Somebody found her because she was in. Yeah.
She walked up to a police officer and she's like, "Hi, I'm lost."
Oh, thank God.
Because Mom taught us how to do it.
Thank God.
And she's like, "Okay." And I mean, this tiny little thing just
they must have been like, "Where the fuck are your parents? You're 3 or 4."
I don't even know what happened or how that happened.
We were all together. Back in those days, the state fair was huge. It was so famous. Like,
it was very popular. Yes,
it was very popular. Yes. So it was always crowded.
Yes,
very crowded. And I can't remember if we were standing in line for something.
I think we were in
line.
Or
we were walking because we were a large group. There was 4 of us, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
She just somehow got separated from us.
I don't remember either. And you know,
or she stopped to look at something and we kept going.
I think that's what happened. Is that she stopped. We were all together. Why no one was holding her hand is beyond me.
I'm sure somebody was assigned the task and we just
first of all, it was the 80s. Nobody watched anybody's children. Mm-hmm. So what I remember is that they locked the park down. And out of nowhere come like a fleet of undercover police officers. Yeah. They're everywhere. Now, I don't know if it's like that anymore, but back then it was. They came out of it. Was so strange that all of these plainclothes cops show up. They're interviewing us. They're talking. We're trying to, and of course we don't have smartphones, so we can't show pictures of her. No, nothing.
But she was it was easy to describe how she.
During that whole time period where they're interviewing Mom, going, "Where was the last time you saw her? Was she by the water?" Because there was a lot of water there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, here comes a woman with Paula. Is this yours?
No, I thought we went to
we had to go get her. We had to go get her.
They radioed the people, and they were like, "We found her. She's in the lost and found."
I don't think Mom could walk. I don't think she could walk. I literally think she was on the ground.
She was. I just remember.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't.
It was terrifying.
I just remember everybody being absolutely terrified. And crying.
I remember
it
that
took
so
goddamn long.
It did take a long time.
Like you would think you find a kid in a minute or two, but it was like an hour.
There were so many. It was the fair, the state fair, not as popular as the one that happens in Southern California because there's a mid fair there. But the state fair, especially back then, everybody went.
It was now they can't.
Hundreds
get
of thousands of people.
Yeah.
Well, God, it's 115.
I know, huh?
Like change the dates. Put it in the fall.
I've been saying that forever.
Or put it in the spring.
I had my daughter in late September, and it was 100 degrees the day I had her. I know. In the rest of the country, it's actual fall.
No,
here that's a typical fall in California.
No, it's faux summer here in September.
Yeah, thank you. They could easily have it in September or October, and it would still be hot as fuck.
Or have it in April
or something. Yeah.
I'd rather have it be raining than the concrete melting.
Everybody would. We'll all wear ponchos and an umbrella, but at least we're not sweltering.
I know, it's true.
It's so uncomfortable.
Oh, I know.
But anyway,
so
we were talking about something like that.
Crazy. Yeah. Anyway, so I was just thinking about all of the performances, all of the dedication that we put in, and how that part I miss. That is the part I miss because.
I'm still going through it, by the way.
I know. And by the way, your son has skated. He hasn't had to do anything like that because of the pandemic.
Oh, no, he has. We had Starstruck. He's done that every year except for the 2 years for the pandemic.
Is there a reason why I haven't been to this?
I don't know. Maybe I just never, I don't know.
It's one of those things where you're barely hanging on. I know.
No, it's not even that. Who would want to go? I guess.
Well,
now that we're talking about it, I guess. But
what does he do?
It's a dance.
He dances?
So each grade, they hire this dance company that comes to the school.
And teach dances?
They come twice a week, and it's a choreographed.
That's awesome.
Choreographed dance. And each class learns their own.
Okay, but do you have to sit through like every class?
You do, but the whole performance is 45 minutes from start to finish.
Okay, that's not
so it's less than an hour for every grade.
Okay.
So, but it is a struggle to watch the kindergartners flop around on the stage.
Well, because they don't remember anything.
But
and
they're
they
still
just,
cute, and they actually do a really good job remembering some stuff. So it's not completely, a waste
Useless.
of time. But no, but yeah. And the
cute.
thing is so my son has gone to his same elementary school since kindergarten.
Yes.
So
he's been doing this.
Yeah, we have watched the kids from kindergarten to now 5th grade.
That's so cute.
And it's all the same kids. So they're kind of like little, you start to have love for them, and they're their parents.
Yeah,
and
you know everybody. You're like,
you've
I
watched
remember
him
when he was just 5.
and now he's this all tall, gangly,
Lanky kid.
awkward kid.
That's
Yeah.
so
So it's
cute.
fun in that regard. And then same thing with the teachers. When you go to a small school like the school my son goes to, the teachers never leave.
No.
So Jeff's kindergarten teacher is still a kindergarten
there.
teacher and remembers him as well. So yeah,
That's
fun.
so cute.
Lots of fun.
Speaking of babies, really quick, because we're going to wrap it up here in a minute. Thank you so much for sharing your gynecologist with me. So the back.
These are the things we share at our age now.
Well, I mean, we used to have the same gyno. Then
We
he
did.
retired, and then we kind of went our separate ways.
But he wasn't great. We thought he was, but
Well, no,
he was all right.
he was fine for what we needed.
He was just kind of judgy, and
He was judgy, actually, quite judgy. Not looking back now. Yes, you're right.
And he was a baby boomer, so
Well, and
actually he was a little older than that. I mean, now that I think about it,
and actually, the reason he retired is he had Alzheimer's,
I know,
which I didn't know.
tragic.
And I thought and it is tragic,
Yeah.
for real. But you're right. He was judgy about pubic hair and stuff too. So,
He was just generally kind of a judgy.
in fact, interestingly, now whenever I have to go to an appointment for like a pelvic exam or whatever, I get really paranoid. I'm like, I have to grow out my pubic hair. I don't want it to be too short or too long. And it's like I should not be worrying about what my vagina looks like, but.
And I'm telling you, this doctor is the one that I said something. I made a remark one time about smelly women and how, you know.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, everyone has their own, and, and it's all fine. Like, yeah, some women, we all have a different pH balance. And he was very scientifical about it. And he was like defending the smelly women of the world.
Well, there you go. That's
and
a good
I'm
doctor
like,
for you.
okay, all right, I'm being a judgy bitch. And he's like,
Yes.
yeah, you're being a judgy bitch. Like, who cares what your vagina smells like?
Well, I do.
You're
but
still
I understand
fantastic.
what you're saying. I
Yeah,
know-
but that's
I
what he
know.
was saying.
Anyway, so thank you so much because, our doctor retired and he didn't retire to live his best life. He's just like, I can't have a practice anymore. So now he's just doing surgical work.
Right.
And he's like, I couldn't get anyone to buy it. Because doctors are just like, no, I don't want to deal with people. They're horrible. And I'm like, God, I totally get it. And I even told him that. I said, you know what? I get it, man. I just, can we just be your patients maybe?
Yeah,
And then
maybe.
everybody else can just fuck off. And he's like, no, unfortunately. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Because when you're a doctor, everybody's annoying.
Probably.
I mean, it's just annoying because you've been doing the same job for 50 years.
Over and over
And you're
again.
just done.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, I get it. You want a new challenge. He goes, yeah, this is my retirement job. I'm like, you know what? I am so happy for you.
He just wants to keep
Legit.
money rolling in,
Yeah.
but not have the responsibility of,
He's not
of a
old.
full practice.
He's just
Yeah.
not old, and he's been doing this practice for like 30 years. But anyway, so I immediately called your doctor, and they're like, oh, yeah, come on in. See you in a month.
So great. Oh, you
Whatever,
will not, yeah,
or
that
whatever.
experience. Yeah.
And so I'm
He's gotten very busy because I could not get an appointment until September.
yeah. And he goes, well, it was funny when he said that. He goes, well, September's going to be fine. I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And he goes, just so you know, obviously you can see that he's very high in demand. So, be prepared. I'm like, I understand how it works.
He does surgery once a week too.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to meeting somebody who actually has
He's so
somebody.
professional.
Yeah.
And
So
you'll
anyway-
like his office. It's pleasant. Are you going downtown?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Wow.
So now we're back to sharing a guy now, and I'm like, is he going to be one of those guys? Like, oh yeah, I can tell your sisters.
No, but
I'm
you know
just
what's
kidding.
funny is
But I'm gonna tell
he's
him that.
also Allison's guy now.
Get the hell out of here.
But her and I did not know that.
That is
So
hilarious.
she didn't refer me to him. I was just telling her about my new gyno at the time, and she's like, "Oh, what's his name?" And I told him, she's like, "Shut the fuck up. He's been mine for years."
That's
and I was like,
so
"Oh my gosh."
funny.
She's like, "Isn't he great?" I'm like, "He's great."
I can't believe you. I'm so glad I'm part of the
So
crew
now,
now.
yeah. So it's just so funny to me that
That
we're,
is so
and it had
funny.
nothing to do with me. We did not know, but we both. And Allison is weird when it comes to
Super private.
no, she's just like she gets very she invests a lot of time and energy into her physicians
Agreed.
and searching for them, and she'll go make appointments and then be like, nope, not doing it.
See, I'm all in on that.
I've never been that way. I'm kind of like I just accept it,
I'm
and I think I
not
just
anymore.
got lucky with him.
Yes, and I think we got lucky with
So-
our initial physician. So when we went through this, I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, no.
And I told Daryl that. I said, and when we were walking out, I said, I don't think this is not the guy for me. He goes, well, it might be kind of nice. And I'm like, I'm not sure he's even really a doctor. His first name could be doctor.
right.
And now I'm like, I think he skipped town. I'm like, I don't even know if this is
up
a real
with this
thing.
dude. Yeah, right.
Either way, I'm done. And so now we got to find another dog. We'll find one. But anyway,
I digress.
Done and done. I think there was only, we're running a little over, but I think that was all I wanted to tell you. The gyno. Yeah, that's it.
All right. I'm looking forward to the follow up. We'll both have an appointment.
We'll have a tale to tell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have talked about on the show before about women's health and how we don't get, we're not anesthetized. We don't get painkillers for procedures.
I hope this dude
like
is all in on the anesthetization.
Well, it's been a few years. They have to remind me that, you're really overdue. I'm like, and I'm on the phone making the appointment, right? So shut the fuck up.
Yeah, here I am.
And in fact, when I went to my pediatrician for my son the other day, every single person I talked to either confirm, make the appointment, showed up, give him they all were like, oh, Jeffrey hasn't been seen. Oh, shit. Take that part out.
That child has not been seen.
Your son has not been seen for a physical in X amount of years. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I'm actually making the appointment with you right now.
That's why I'm calling.
Right. And then we get there, they're like, oh, we haven't seen your son. And I'm like, and we're here doing an appointment. And then so when I went in and saw the doctor, she's like, hi, blah, 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 doing her thing. And she's great. I've known her forever. Yeah. And she didn't say anything about it. But I said, I know that he has not been here in a few years. I go, because every single member of your staff, every step of the way, has guilted me and reminded me that he hasn't been here. And she looked at me. She's like, oh, like she kind of looked at me like, what? I'm like, yeah, like I don't get that. If somebody's calling to make an appointment and then they show up for the appointment and they're there, they're literally trying to, keep clean house, so to speak, with their health and get things back on track. Why are you going to guilt and shame them every step of the way?
Yeah, it makes it really hard.
That really makes me want to fucking come back.
And a lot of people will be triggered and not come.
Well, I mean, there's reasons why people do go. So we're doing the same thing with the dentist. But my son will not go. He wants me to go first. Right. And he wants to come with me while I go to the dentist. And then he knows that he has to go too. Yeah. So that's how we're going to do it. But yeah, I'm sorry. People just need to be a little bit more sensitive to, especially at our age.
Honestly, especially after the pandemic, a lot of people just stopped going.
Well, and when we were young, people were butchers.
That's
true,
what I mean?
We didn't go to doctors and dentists at
You'll
a time.
You'll be fine. It's just a pinch.
You gutted everything. You gutted everything. And so now that, they want you to trust you and you're like,
oh, sure.
And they want to know why you don't.
I know. It's so true.
I'm like, do you see my date of birth?
You know. You don't know. Okay. Thank you for listening. We'll be back.
Bye.